Welcome to the Geek Easy. Sit back, grab a libation of your choice, and relax, 'cause it's time to do some geek stuff in the Geek Easy. Welcome to the Geek Easy, fellow geeks. Grab a beverage of your choice, because today we are going to be reviewing Daredevil, the Man Without Fear, Omnibus, the Brubaker run, Volume 1. Published by Marvel Comics and obviously written by Brubaker. If it's the Brubaker run, it should be written by Ed Brubaker. Now, I know the basics about... Okay, well, first of all, we're just going to go... and it collects Daredevil 82 through 105. I know the basics about Daredevil. I know his origin story. It's Matt Murdock. You have Foggy Nelson. You have Karen Page for a while. Elektra. I know, Hell's Kitchen, all this stuff. So I know, the basics. And I've read a few of his comics here and there. And I think I started to do, I did a trade on the Miller run, where Karen sells Matt Murdock's identity to the Kingpin and all that stuff, but I haven't done a lot. So I had to do a little research on this, because obviously I was going to get it and I needed to know where it left off. And this picks up right at the end of the Bendis run, and the Bendis run has Matt Murdock being stuck in prison. He's put in prison. So you didn't really need to know how that happened when he picked it up, because they bring up that when he's in prison, they bring up why a couple times. That he's in prison for suspecting him for being Daredevil, and has something to do with his being a lawyer and vigilante and all that stuff, and I think it's the Registration Act and all that stuff. But I have to tell you, this story started out with a bang. I mean, it's just... It hits the ground running and doesn't let up. So there's like 3, possibly 4 arcs in this book. You have him in prison. You have him escaping, trying to find out who organized. After he escapes, he's trying to figure out who organized the plot behind him, and then it goes on there. They're all kind of connected in a fashion, because one thing leads to another in each one of the story arcs. But then all of the story arcs have an overlying plot as to who was behind it and for what reason. And at the end of this one, the bad guy is caught, and we figured out why it was done, and how Matt Murdock had to go about fixing. How he had to go about catching the bad guy, and he only found out why it was done entirely at the end of the story. That's just one thing about Brubaker, is his stories, well, first of all, are super entertaining, but they always get kind of dark because he's a noir guy. There's all people have motives for doing this, but then you might find out those aren't the real motives. That maybe they're being tricked, or they're not revealing the entire motives, or they're just lying about stuff. And so things happen, and then you find out more, and it's kind of these just intricate, stories. The way things are in real life. I mean, yes, you don't know sometimes why someone's doing something. They'll say one thing, or you'll suspect one thing, and then it turns out to be something else. Here you don't know who is who and what is why. And it was nice to see him doing this in a kind of a street level character. Well, that's pretty much all of his stuff. You don't see him doing, these big, like the Infinity Gauntlet type stories. That's not him. He does ground level. When he does superheroes, it's ground level noir type stuff, and then a lot of stuff doesn't even involve superheroes on things, but they're complex and there's real motivations behind it, and the characters get pushed to certain points and maybe even past them, but then they have to, and hopefully they'll come back, and that's what happens with Matt Murdock. I mean, he's getting pushed and pushed and pushed. And you see how he reacts to it, and then the motivations of other people who are helping him or who get caught up in this stuff are all different. This guy's doing this because of maybe he wants to get help out. Maybe this guy's doing this just because he's getting paid. He doesn't really give a shit about what's going on, but he's just a dude who's doing a job, and who knows if he's going to be loyal or not. And then, but damn, this is such a good book. I had been kind of putting off getting this because I love Brubaker's books. I've been on a tear, just getting as much of his books as I can. You've got Criminal, you've got Killer Be Killed, Sleeper, which I think is one of my favorite ones, and all this, the Reckless books, and I was just like, okay, Daredevil, I like, so I was like, okay, I might do that. And then there's the Captain America one. So I've been debating on whether to go back and forth with those, but haven't got. I've got a couple of trades on the Captain America Brubaker run, but I haven't really read those yet. But I'm so glad that I did this, just because he took a character that I'm rather ambivalent to, which is and made it so I couldn't put the book down. I mean, it was just, I spent most of the day today reading, sitting out on the balcony behind me and reading after I got back from the gym. Just popping, trying to get through because it's such a good book. So if you are a Daredevil fan, get it. If you are a Brubaker fan, get it, because he does exceptional work on this book, and it is renowned as one of the best Daredevil run books, or at least that I've heard. And it will be worth getting it. The listed price is $100. You go to some of the other sites, you could probably get cheaper. But the story is incredible, and then you have Lark doing the artwork. I mean, look at this. Look at the artwork in here. It is just incredible. They do such good work, and it's so moody at points. You know, just it was worth every cent that I spent on this and all the time that I spent reading it. Get it. I mean, this is a 5 out of a 5. It's wonderful. But anyway, let me know in the comments below whether you've read this stuff or not, what you thought of it, and whether I should get Volume 2 when it comes out, because I don't want to. Right, I was just looking at prices for Volume 2, and the ones out now are going for $190, 200 or over that, so I'm going to have to wait for a reprint on Volume 2, but whether I should get that or not. But, okay, like, subscribe, most of all, enjoy your Brubaker comics.